Welcome to Road to Billions podcast, the mentality of an entrepreneur. With your host, Moise Bertrand.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It is your host, Moise Bertrand, the Road to Billions podcast. It's been an amazing journey, you guys, and I appreciate every last one of you guys who've been tuning in, listening, leaving comments, rate reviews, sharing the podcast. And like I said, new and old listeners, from the bottom of my heart, I appreciate you. You get me? So never let that be something I don't say, because I'm always going to make sure you guys hear that at the beginning of every podcast, of course. Just to let you guys know. So Wesley $1 Million Virgin. I follow him on Instagram. Really great dude to follow. Motivational. Really gave me the inspiration I wanted to just continue with a lot of things that were bothering me in my life. Things I felt like I couldn't manifest. Things I felt like were out of my reach. And he was one of the Instagram accounts. And I would never do this, you feel me, to be real, on like watching an account. You get me? But he is a real person who actually took the time to build a company and show everybody on Instagram while he was building it about his road to $100,000 per day, right? So when I was watching him, he was bringing in around 10,000 a day. You get me? I was in like high school, like senior year high school, 10,000 a day. I was watching him. I was like, man, this dude dope, bro. 10,000 a day, 20,000 days. And then he started a new mindset thing, 100K days. You get me? And then he started really doing 100K. And I'm sitting there like, oh shit, this is really possible. And one of his main teachings and lessons was that you have to learn to manage your emotions. And managing your emotions could be a very hard concept to wrap your mind around, because we're so quick to give a reaction to what just happened, right? Someone taught to us in a tone we don't like. Our first reaction is to defend ourselves in whatever tone that feels like right for the situation. But many times, a lot of people let their emotions get the best of them. You know, when people accidentally get in an argument and one says something that is hurtful to the other, or somebody obviously causes harm and bodily harm to the other, then it creates a conflict of who emotions got the best of others, right? When people say the emotions got the best of me, your emotions cannot get the best of you. You get me? You cannot let emotions override your thinking, your logical processing, you know, the mindset that you have when you make logical decisions. You can't let emotion override that. Yeah, people are going to do you wrong. Yeah, every situation is not going to be as, you know, tasty and fruitful as you want it to be. But you have to look at every situation like, how could you escalate the situation first and foremost? And what emotion are you feeling at that very moment? You want to think twice about what you're about to say, what you're about to think, what you about to do, because that split second could change your life, right? So managing your emotions. If you have a business and it's not doing well, your first instinct is to say, man, fuck this. I'm a quitter. I'm a quit. I'm a failure. Like, it doesn't work. No, your first thought process is to gain control of your mindset at the time, right? If things aren't going right, you have to reverse it. When I say reverse it, I mean that with all sincerity, because a lot of people, they think they're already at the mindset that only because they're getting older, they're at that mindset. But you probably didn't learn the positive mindset, the real way of programming your mind every day and staying on top of everything that's positive. Nothing negative should ever come through your mind. And Wesley, he pretty much broke that down into saying your affirmations. You know, if on my mirrors, on my boards and all that good stuff, I have affirmations. Now, a lot of people may not believe in saying things out loud or whatever concept they may not have or have. I just believe in speaking things into existence. You get me? Really believing that everything I say that I utter with my tongue, it must come true. So when I tell people, first you got to gain control of your mindset, right? Because your mind is your computer. It dictates how your outside reality is going to look. And when you're trying to go for these 100K days or 10,000 months or 20,000 months or 5,000 months or $1,000 sales, the same concept works, right? The same energy that makes 100,000 can make the 50,000. The same energy it takes to make 100 can make the mill. But the amount of focus and discipline is what separates the two, right? The amount of ducking and diving. You get me? How do you move about certain things? How do you go in certain rooms? How do you take control? How do you extract information? How do you apply information? That's the two differences in all the groups, right? But every group has the same foundational thing, and that's the mindset, right? So when you're in a mindset of people who have more than you, people who accomplish more than you, you could always speak to them and ask them, hey, what did you learn in your journey of entrepreneurship? What did you learn in your journey of success in business? And they're gonna let you know, like, I always knew I was made for it. It was just about staying disciplined and knowing that the right time was gonna happen at any given moment. And I had to be prepared for it. So what I tell people all the time is be fruitful in your way of working and way of learning about certain things. Be passionate. Be interested. Don't be someone who you're just trying to learn a skill to get rich, right? Because it's gonna take a lot of dedication and passion to stay at it, right? Think about how many times SZA made a song and she probably didn't like it. She threw that song away. And think of how many times that song could have been a hit. As many times she probably recorded 4, 5, 50, 100 times in the studio. One of those songs she probably would never release is a hit, but she would never know that. But the success is guaranteed regardless because she continues at all her projects, right? If one of the songs she don't like, she just don't like it. Fuck it if it's a hit or not. She have so many songs that she's continually working on, that she's continually pushing out, promoting, staying on top of it, that she's so passionate about it. A hit is bound to come. You get me? So it's the same thing like in business. You stay at it because you know it's going to come. You know that right now is just temporary. You know that the future that you hold within your mind is a reality because you could see it. You could literally, if you sit there and meditate, you could taste it. You could smell. You could really like infuse yourself in that type of environment and situation because you want to manifest that type of feeling in your everyday life, right? Not feeling the lack of money, spending things and not feeling like you made a bad decision spending it, going places that may cost a little bit more expensive than your regular places, but you're treating yourself at that luxury to understand this is going to be a new lifestyle. You're not going to accept nothing lower than what you already providing for yourself. And that's the mindset that you got to control. So if you know that business is bound to come, your only concept is to continue, as hard as it sounds, continue to be out there, promote yourself, talk to people, listen to people, and continue to push your product because like anybody could tell you, the only person that's going to really sit there and support you is yourself, right? No one's going to come and save your business. Someone's going to come and give you 100 bands, 200 bands a meal to liquidate and save your business, right? So your only benefit to yourself is as hard as I try, that's how hard money, that's how much I'm going to make, right? If I could sell 2-3 times a month, 2-3 times a week, if I believe I could do that, I could do it on a bigger scale, bigger volume, right? Because this right here is just little. But you have to see that situation that you're in right now that may not be all glamorous and shit as something that's teaching you a lesson to come out of, right? Because there is tomorrow, there is the following day. And as crazy as it sounds, I feel like once you put yourself in position to work on the goals that you really want to work on, doors, opportunities, funding, resources, people, places, and things are just going to open themselves up to you, literally. And you have to be ready to accept these things because how are you going to go into these places that supposed to act, that acts of the new you, if you didn't develop that new mindset that you're supposed to develop, right? You were supposed to go through these lessons that will ought to, teach you how to be a better person, how to be a business owner and all that good stuff. And I tell people all the time, if you feel like life isn't treating you fair, then that's the first step in changing your mindset. That's the first negative mindset that you just had, first thought, because you got to look at life like it's treating everybody fair. Sometimes the decisions that we make or circumstances could put us in unfair situations, but life isn't fair, right? Life isn't fair at all. And we know this, but the situations that we're in are unfair. But you have to look at everybody who came out these situations that at one point probably never would have thought they would have been in the position they are in today. Eminem, 50 Cent, Tyler Perry, P. Diddy, all these guys who achieve all this high stature success, they were once in these environments that we would have thought that you could never escape from. So what I'm saying is they believed in themselves. Hov, he talked about it big time. Nas, these guys talk about it, about recording in their room, recording in the basement, recording in closets and all that good stuff, and really making sure that whatever is in front of them was just going to be that. If they seen that Lambo that they were going to get, they got it. Back then was a lot different from now. I could say that. But what I could say is the concept and grind is still the same. The hustle that never changed. The hustle is still in music. The hustle is still in entrepreneurship. The hustle is still in business. And those who are learning to hustle and finesse a little bit, finesse your mind, convince your mind to really believe that everything that's happening to you right now is changing you for the better and is not doing things for the worse, you will start accepting new blessings into your life. So I kind of just let you guys go with that peace of mind, because I hate for you guys to look at life like, damn, man, I got a kid, things not going right. I never have money to travel. I want to travel. And it's not you that's doing anything wrong. It's the mindset that you have. It's the people you have around you. It's the environment that you involve yourself with. And the minute you sit down with yourself for a long time, I'm talking about for like an hour, at least every 2-3 days, or even a day, bro. Like, as me as a person, I like to stay in in a stoic mode for like an hour a day or two. You feel me? To really gain answers, to really sit with myself and know what I'm going through, to sit and sift through all the emotions, all the events, everything in my past and my mindset, to program it, to let go of those things and welcome new things into my life. Knowing that I'm gonna get paid, knowing that one day we're gonna look back at this and we're gonna laugh at this podcast like, bro, listen to how I was speaking, like I was already manifesting this stuff. You get me? So what I say is, believe in yourself. Believe that there is a better world and better reality for you out there and for yourself, because there's nothing stopping you from achieving that dream. If you want to be a rich girl, just do that. Like, just embed yourself in that feeling. Like, take yourself to expensive trips, take yourself to expensive restaurants, buy yourself expensive things, because you have to embellish in that type of energy. You got to attract those things. And just like anybody else will tell you, like, you have to fake it till you make it. You may not have all the money in the world. You may not have the fastest car. You may not have the nicest clothes. But at the end of the day, you're putting yourself together to one day have those things. One day to transition smoothly in that, and that it won't just be something that is a culture shock to you. It won't be like a wealth shock to you. It'll just be something that just eventually just is your everyday lifestyle. New cars, new clothes, restaurants, traveling. That's the lifestyle we want to have. And if you don't want to have that, whatever lifestyle you do picture for yourself, that's possible as well. So like I tell you guys, at the end of the day, put God first, believe in the things that you believe in. Know that if you put yourself out there, things are bound to happen. And like I said, Road to Billions podcast is a journey. It's not a race. It's a marathon, baby. Shout out to everybody who's been listening. Check out my other episodes as well. Rate, review. And like I once said again, it's been an amazing journey, guys. Take care.